This is a reading for you. It is not tied to a zodiac sign nor a timeline. The intention is if you come across this reading, it should benefit you in some way. If you enjoy it, feel free to like and subscribe. Transcending barriers, I see. You are represented by the sun. Now, this is a absolute sign of clarity, of being joyous, strong, free. It's a very masculine, creative card. I see it as God smiling down upon the people, because you'll see the sun is sort of looking down as this naked person frolics about on a horse freely. That's about as free and creative as it gets. There's a bountiful garden. You know, all good things come from the sun. We would not exist without it. And it does have the power to destroy us. So, that being said, with great awareness, with wisdom, or with power, or with, comes great responsibility, that old saying. And I think that you're claiming that responsibility because you have death on your mind. I see this in a couple of ways. You're very focused on change or transformation, and I would say you would successfully do so, okay? You also may have an awareness of your mortality, the fact that we're not here forever. There's only so much time to complete one's work here, whatever it may be for you. This is a great sense of awareness. Again, awareness and strength. Now, crossing you, I think that your circumstances or the pace of your life is going to pick up quite a bit. And, be ready for that. And I think that you definitely are. I mean, look, judgment is here. The transition is here. The final hoorah. The dead are coming up from their coffins. And it's said that that's sort of stepping into the new reality, or the new whatever. The old chapter is done. Now, mind you, that brings about a lot of adjustment. Adjustment for you, adjustment for how you do things, how you see things, how you manage your time, but also the adjustment of those around you, particularly those who are close to you. Envy or fear or insecurity, doubt, these kinds of things, projections, can arise, particularly if you're developing or growing significantly, or you're reaching goals, or you're just doing well, and the interesting thing about that, when you get like a very sudden itch on your back, is this brings clarity to everything. You start to see aspects of life that weren't necessarily available before, or perspectives that weren't necessarily gained yet. When you find sort of a whole other side to life. I remember a moment like that for me when I was a kid, and I got invited to like my first local show. It was like a metal show or whatever. And man, that blew my mind. I wanted to be there every day, That's sort of an example of like just this whole new thing that you're finding. Now, that doesn't have to be an external circumstance. It can just be internally even. But, you're realizing something. Now, as I mentioned before, You know, because there's almost like, it's like you either grew from, you know, sort of a victim mentality or just a lot of suffering or frustration into this emperor, or this emperor is now here and for all of this to behold, particularly with the fearful outside influence. It could be in particular relationships. I don't know. I think that that'll work out fine. In fact, it almost sort of suggests to just kind of keep a watchful eye and do whatever you're doing. Because the thing is it's like things have been dragging for so long, or you've just been putting in steady effort for so long. It's a welcome change. It's a good thing. It's you know, maybe just what you've been looking for. Let me pull a few more cards. I do want to take a moment to promote my Patreon. That's where all my extended readings go and exclusive content. It's a great way to support the channel. You can access that. It's the first link in the description. So if you want to check that out, it's definitely awesome. I have a goal to gain one new Patreon subscriber per post, or even just a normal subscriber. I also take personal readings, which you can access through my website. Your advice is to not tone yourself down and not limit yourself, not keep yourself boxed in. Keep yourself open to all of your options, all of your opportunities, even ones that maybe you haven't considered. It kind of suggests to take a fresh look at everything. You know, because it almost suggests that you've been hiding yourself, sort of. You could start a new, you could get married, you could start a new job, you could join some sort of formal what have you. You could be exploring magic, initiating yourself, or maybe even gaining a platform or something like that. The Hierophant has a sense of authority and often represents institutions, education, law, religious figures, so on. And the Ace of Cups, so to me this suggests a massive start or beginning, inspiration, idea, growth, something. And it would be of great significance, especially with the Hierophant, because the Hierophant will sort of shift your whole perspective on the world. So I'm going to take this a bit further on my Patreon. I hope you'll join me there. If not, thanks for being here. I hope you have a lovely evening.